Exact transcripts of his radio messages reveal that Taylor was experiencing problems.
Both my compasses are out and I'm trying to find Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm on the land, but it's broken. I'm sure I'm in the Keys, but I don't know how far down and I don't know how to get to Fort Lauderdale.
After flying without incident, our plane runs into problems. Amazingly, it's at almost exactly the same time as Taylor announced his instruments were malfunctioning. Around 3:50. The turn and slip instrument in our Avenger starts to perform erratically, making it harder for our pilot to make smooth and efficient turns.
Let's turn and fly east 2 degrees. We're going too damn far north instead of east. If there is anything, we won't even see it.
It was now 3 hours since they took off. They had enough fuel for at least another 3 hours. The crewmen started to argue, and another Flight 19 pilot, Captain Edward Powers, tried to take control and turn them to the west.
Damn! If you would just head west, we would get home!
In our recreation of the flight, the next hour passes smoothly, and Great Harbor Cay is safely in sight below. We make a left turn and head north for Grand Bahama, the most northerly point of our flight, and another hour's flying time away. Here, Flight 19 should have turned west and headed home. But by now, Flight 19 could have been disoriented, their fuel dangerously low, and with darkness fast approaching.
You didn't get far enough east. How long have we been going east? We're now heading 270 west!
Now, incredibly, another gremlin strikes the recreation of Flight 19. Our chase plane pilot, flying alongside us to take film of the Avenger, announces his aircraft's turn and slip indicator, exactly the same instrument which became erratic on our plane, is also malfunctioning. It's completely frozen.
Something really strange is going on here, guys.
What is the problem? And more importantly, why is it happening? Almost 2 hours into recreating Flight 19. 2 planes, 2 instrument failures. Maybe the instruments of both our planes were already faulty. Whatever the explanation, we make our final turn west, a heading which could have saved the lives of Flight 19, and head for Fort Lauderdale with a spooky feeling. Flight 19 never made that final turn west. The 5 planes were doomed to fly on, with rapidly emptying gas tanks, further and further to the east, into the empty ocean and the growing darkness.
We'll head 270 until we hit the beach or run out of gas. When the first man gets down to 10 gallons of gas, we will all land in the water together. Does everyone understand that?
And that was the last that we heard on the radio. They asked him how much gas he had left. He said about a half hour, 20 minutes. We waited till that half hour went by, and there was no more activity on the radio. We knew they were down someplace, but we didn't know where. So they sent out all the boats and all the planes that they had available to go look for them.
Navy rules dictate that all the planes in a formation should ditch together in such a crisis. Nobody knows what truly happened to the planes of Flight 19. Why wasn't a single crewman, life jacket, or piece of wreckage from 5 7-ton planes ever found? Former naval pilot Dave White was part of the search team.
I think, frankly, they got lost, that the instructor took them the wrong way in spite of the students saying, go west. He didn't go far enough west.
No one knew for certain where Flight 19 ditched, and it was 8 hours before the main search could be mounted. It must have seemed like an eternity to the crew's loved ones. In that time, the Gulf Stream current and surface winds would have been able to move any wreckage more than 50 miles from the estimated crash position. Finding a lone swimmer in those conditions would have been like finding a needle in a haystack.
Well, we searched, started about 5:30 in the morning, right after daylight, and we found absolutely nothing.
Scores of ships and over 200 planes were deployed in the search for Flight 19. At the time, it was one of the largest search missions of its kind ever mounted. What is it like to be the first pilot ever to refly that fateful, tragic journey and get home safe? Avenger pilot Obie O'Brien.
I could almost feel the presence of those 14 brave men who perished 60 years ago, and it's a very sobering feeling.
The disappearance of Flight 19 and the media frenzy that ensued solidified the legend of the Bermuda Triangle and still remains its best-known mystery.